What if I told you the most legendary Mustang ever just came back, but this time, it's faster, smarter, and more futuristic than anything you've seen before? This is not just a comeback, this is the rebirth of the 2026-2027 Ford Mustang Eleanor. Welcome back to Premium Automotive Reviews, where we don't just show you cars, we break down the future of driving in a way that actually makes sense. And today's reveal is something every muscle car fan has been waiting for, because Eleanor is no longer just a legend from the past. It's now a machine built for the future, with details that most people won't even notice at first glance. From the very first shot, the presence of the new Eleanor feels different. It's low, wide, aggressive, but at the same time incredibly refined. That iconic Mustang DNA is still here, but everything has been sharpened. The front end carries a more sculpted and aerodynamic profile, with a deeper grille and modernized lighting that gives it a focused, almost predatory look. The LED headlights are sleeker, more precise, and designed to cut through the night with a futuristic signature. But here's where things get interesting. Look closer at the body lines, and you'll notice how the entire car flows like a single piece of sculpture. The hood is longer, more muscular, with functional vents that aren't just for show. The side profile carries that classic fastback silhouette, but now it's cleaner, more aerodynamic, almost like it's slicing through the air, even when standing still. And then you reach the rear, and this is where nostalgia meets innovation perfectly. The signature triple vertical taillights are still there, glowing with a deeper, more aggressive intensity. But they've been redesigned with a modern LED structure that gives them a layered, almost 3D effect. The stance is wider, the diffuser is sharper, and those quad exhaust tips remind you instantly, this is still a performance machine at heart. Now step inside, because this is where the real transformation begins. The cabin of the new Eleanor feels like a bridge between classic muscle and next-generation technology. At first glance, it looks familiar, but the moment the screens light up, everything changes. A fully digital instrument cluster blends seamlessly into a central infotainment system that feels intuitive, fast, and incredibly responsive. The materials have taken a huge leap forward. Soft, touch surfaces, precision stitching, and a more driver-focused layout create an environment that feels both premium and purposeful. The seats are redesigned for better support during aggressive driving, but also comfortable enough for long journeys. And yes, there's ambient lighting, subtle, customizable, and designed to match the mood of your drive. But what really sets this interior apart is the intelligence behind it. The system learns your driving habits, your preferences, even how you like your cabin temperature and music settings. It's not just reacting to you, it's anticipating you. Now let's talk about the technology that most people won't expect from a car like this. This new Eleanor introduces advanced driver assistance features that feel almost invisible, but incredibly effective. Adaptive cruise control, lane positioning, real-time traffic awareness, all working quietly in the background. And while it still feels like a driver's car, there are moments where it can take over just enough to make long drives effortless. There's also a connected ecosystem that syncs with your phone, your schedule, and even your daily routine. Imagine your car already knowing your destination before you even set it. That's the level of integration we're talking about here. But of course, none of this matters if it doesn't deliver where it truly counts. Performance. And this is where Eleanor reminds everyone why it became a legend in the first place. While official numbers are still being finalized, the new generation is expected to offer multiple powertrain options, including a high-performance V8 and a hybrid-assisted system designed to deliver instant torque. Acceleration feels sharper, more immediate, and the power delivery is smoother than ever before. The suspension has been reworked to balance comfort and performance in a way older muscle cars never could. You get that raw, connected feeling when you push it, but also a level of refinement that makes it usable every single day. And here's something to think about. This car isn't trying to be just fast in a straight line anymore. It's designed to handle corners, highways, and city streets with equal confidence. That's a huge shift from what muscle cars used to be. Safety has also taken a major step forward. A full suite of monitoring systems, collision prevention technology, and intelligent alerts ensures that while the car feels powerful, it also feels controlled and secure. It's not just about speed anymore. It's about confidence behind the wheel. And when you start thinking about daily usability, this is where Eleanor becomes even more impressive. The cabin space is more practical, visibility is improved, and the technology makes everyday driving easier, not more complicated. It's a car you can enjoy on a weekend drive, but also rely on during a busy weekday. So who is this car really for? It's for the people who grew up dreaming about Eleanor, and for a new generation that wants performance without sacrificing technology. It's for drivers who want emotion, but also intelligence. And most importantly, it's for those who believe that the future of cars shouldn't forget where it came from. Because that's exactly what this car represents. It's not just a redesign. It's a reinterpretation of a legend, built for a completely different era. And when you step back and look at the bigger picture, it becomes clear. The 2026-2027 Ford Mustang Eleanor isn't just another Mustang. It's a statement about where performance cars are heading. So now the question is, does this new Eleanor live up to its legendary name? Or has it become something entirely new? Let me know what you think. And if you enjoy content that goes beyond the surface and actually breaks down what these cars mean for the future, this might be the moment luxury cars stopped looking like cars and started looking like the future itself. The 2026-2027 Cadillac Eldorado is here. And what it's bringing isn't just an upgrade. It's a complete shift in how we define American luxury. You're watching Premium Automotive Reviews, where we go deeper than just design and specs. And today's reveal is something you'll want to experience till the very end, because this Eldorado hides details that completely change how you see Cadillac as a brand. At first glance, the presence of the new Eldorado feels almost unreal. It sits incredibly low, stretched, and wide, like a concept car that somehow made it to production. The front end doesn't shout, it commands. The illuminated grille blends seamlessly into the body, while those razor-thin LED light signatures create a sharp, futuristic identity that feels both elegant and intimidating at the same time. But here's what most people miss initially. The way the body flows from front to rear isn't just about styling, it's engineered for efficiency. Every curve, every edge, every surface is sculpted to guide airflow with precision. The long hood feels like a tribute to classic Eldorado heritage, but everything around it is undeniably modern. As the camera moves along the side, the proportions start telling a different story. The wheelbase is longer, the stance is more planted. And those massive wheels aren't just for looks, they visually anchor the car, giving it a sense of stability and confidence. The roofline gently slopes back into a seamless rear profile, creating that perfect balance between coupe elegance and futuristic aerodynamics. And then the rear. This is where Cadillac makes its boldest statement. Vertical LED taillights stretch downward with a glowing intensity that feels almost architectural. The rear is clean, wide, and incredibly minimal, yet powerful. Even the lower diffuser area feels intentional, blending performance cues into a design that still prioritizes luxury. But everything you've seen so far is just the surface. Step inside, and the entire experience shifts. The cabin doesn't feel like a traditional interior anymore. It feels like a personal lounge designed around the driver. The dashboard is dominated by a wide, curved digital display that stretches across your field of vision, but it never feels overwhelming. Instead, it feels natural, almost like it belongs there. The materials tell a story of modern luxury. Soft leather, precision, cut metal accents, and sustainable finishes come together in a way that feels premium, without being excessive. Ambient lighting flows subtly through the cabin, adjusting based on time of day, mood, or even your driving style. And then there's the intelligence built into this car. This Eldorado doesn't just respond to commands, it understands context. The AI-driven system learns your habits over time. It knows when you prefer silence, when you want music, when you're in a hurry, and when you just want a calm, relaxed drive. It adapts the entire environment around you, without you even noticing. There's a moment when you realize, you're not just driving the car. The car is working with you. The infotainment system is faster, cleaner, and deeply connected. Everything from navigation to entertainment feels seamless, with over-the-air updates ensuring the car continues to evolve even after you own it. And yes, there's augmented reality integration that overlays navigation directly into your driving view, making directions feel intuitive instead of distracting. Now here's something that changes everything: the driving experience itself. While the Eldorado carries the soul of a luxury cruiser, it's built on a completely new foundation. Early expectations point toward an advanced electric powertrain, delivering instant torque in a way that traditional engines simply can't match. Acceleration feels effortless, almost silent, yet incredibly powerful. But Cadillac didn't stop at straight-line performance. The suspension system has been engineered to adapt in real time, reading the road and adjusting instantly. The result is a ride that feels smooth over imperfections, yet composed and controlled when pushed harder. And here's the surprising part. This car doesn't isolate you from the road. It connects you to it, but in a refined, controlled way. You feel confident, not overwhelmed. Safety is where things become quietly impressive. A full suite of advanced systems operates in the background, monitoring surroundings, predicting potential hazards, and assisting when needed. From adaptive driving support to intelligent collision prevention, everything is designed to make driving feel safer, without ever feeling intrusive. There's also a level of autonomy here that changes how you think about long drives. In certain conditions, the car can handle much of the driving itself, allowing you to relax while still staying in control when you want to be. And then comes practicality, something luxury coupes often struggle with. But not here. The cabin space is more usable, storage is smarter, and the overall layout makes daily driving easier. Whether it's a long highway journey or a quick city drive, the Eldorado feels adaptable. It's not just a weekend car. It's something you can actually live with. So what does this car really represent? It's not trying to compete in the traditional sense. It's redefining what a modern luxury coupe should feel like. Where older cars focused on power or comfort alone, this Eldorado blends technology, design, and performance into one cohesive experience. And maybe that's the biggest shift of all. This isn't about nostalgia. It's about evolution. The 2026-2027 Cadillac Eldorado feels like a preview of what luxury driving is becoming: intelligent, connected, and deeply personal. It respects its heritage, but it refuses to be limited by it. And now the question becomes simple. Is this the direction you want luxury cars to go? Because if it is, Cadillac might have just set a new standard. Let me know what you think about this new Eldorado. And if you want to see more deep, cinematic breakdowns like this, make sure you stay connected with Premium Automotive Reviews. Nobody expected this name to return, and definitely not like this. The 2026-2027 Chevrolet Monte Carlo is back. And it's not just redesigned, it's completely reimagined for a world that moved on without it. You're watching Premium Automotive Reviews. And today's reveal is one of those moments where history and future collide in a way that feels almost unreal. Because what you're looking at isn't just a modern coupe, it's a revival of a legacy that refused to stay in the past. At first, it looks clean, almost minimal. But give it a second, and the details start to hit. The front end carries a wide, confident stance, with a grille that feels deeper and more structured than anything Chevrolet has done recently. The headlights are slim, sharp, and layered with LED elements that create a signature you can recognize instantly, even from a distance. But here's where it gets interesting. The Monte Carlo doesn't rely on aggression alone. There's a certain smoothness in the way the body flows, almost like it's been carved rather than assembled. The hood stretches forward with subtle sculpting, hinting at performance without screaming for attention. As the camera glides along the side, the proportions tell a story of balance. Long doors, a slightly extended rear quarter, and a roofline that gently tapers into the back, it all works together to create a silhouette that feels timeless yet modern. The wheels are large, detailed, and positioned perfectly within the arches, giving the car a planted, confident look. And then the rear. This is where the Monte Carlo quietly separates itself. The taillights don't just glow, they form a pattern, a layered design that feels futuristic, but still rooted in classic American coupe identity. The quad exhaust setup sits low and wide, reminding you that this isn't just about looks. There's real performance behind it. But everything changes the moment you step inside. The interior doesn't try to overwhelm you. Instead, it welcomes you. The layout is clean, horizontal, and driver-focused, with a digital display that blends naturally into the dashboard. It's not trying to feel like a spaceship, it's trying to feel right. And it does. The materials are where you start noticing the shift. Soft leather with detailed stitching, textured surfaces, and subtle metallic accents create a cabin that feels refined, but still connected to its performance roots. The seats are supportive, shaped to hold you in place when driving hard, yet comfortable enough for long journeys. There's a quiet confidence in here, and then the technology begins to reveal itself. The infotainment system is fast, responsive, and deeply integrated into the car's ecosystem. It connects seamlessly with your devices, your preferences, even your daily routine. Over time, it starts to learn how you drive, how you interact, and what you expect, and then it adjusts itself accordingly. There's also an intelligent assistance system working in the background. It's not intrusive. It doesn't take over, but it's always there, monitoring, adjusting, supporting. From adaptive cruise control to lane guidance and real-time awareness, everything is designed to make driving feel easier, without taking away the control. Now let's talk about something that defines this car more than anything else: how it moves. Because the new Monte Carlo isn't trying to be one thing. It's trying to be everything a modern driver needs. There are strong indications of multiple powertrain options, including a refined turbocharged setup and a hybrid, assisted system that brings instant torque into the mix. Acceleration feels immediate, but controlled. It's not just fast, it's smooth, and that smoothness carries into the ride. The suspension has been tuned to adapt. On rough roads, it softens. On open highways, it stabilizes. And when you push it into corners, it tightens just enough to give you confidence, without making the drive feel harsh. It's a balance older cars struggled with, but here, it feels natural. And here's the part that might surprise you. This car isn't just about performance or design. It's about usability. The cabin space is practical, the controls are intuitive, and everything is positioned where you expect it to be. Whether you're commuting through traffic or taking a long drive out of the city, the Monte Carlo feels like it belongs in your daily life. Safety has also evolved in a way you don't immediately notice, but you feel it. Sensors, cameras, and intelligent systems work together to create a protective layer around the car. It's constantly aware of its surroundings, ready to assist when needed, but never distracting you from the experience of driving. And that brings us to the bigger picture. What is this car really trying to be? It's not chasing extremes. It's not trying to outdo everything else on the road. Instead, it's redefining what a modern American coupe should feel like: balanced, intelligent, and emotionally engaging. Because older cars used to make you choose comfort or performance, technology or simplicity, style or practicality. This one doesn't. The 2026-2027 Chevrolet Monte Carlo brings all of it together into one cohesive experience. It respects its past, but it doesn't depend on it. It moves forward, confidently, into a space where cars aren't just machines anymore, they're companions. And maybe that's why this comeback feels different. It's not loud. It's not desperate for attention. It's composed. It's confident. And it knows exactly what it is. So now the question is this the kind of comeback you were expecting? Or is it something even better? Let me know what you think about the new Monte Carlo, and if you want more cinematic, in-depth reveals like this, stay connected with Premium Automotive Reviews. Because the future of cars isn't coming, it's already here. This might be the most unexpected comeback of the decade, because the 2026-2027 Plymouth Barracuda isn't just back, it's evolved into something no one saw coming. A legend that once defined raw muscle is now stepping into the future with a completely new identity, and yet, somehow, it hasn't lost its soul. You're watching Premium Automotive Reviews, where we go beyond the surface and uncover what truly makes a car special. And today's reveal is one of those rare moments where nostalgia meets innovation in a way that feels almost unreal. Stay with me, because there are details here that completely change how you look at modern muscle cars. At first glance, the Barracuda looks familiar, but not in the way you expect. The front end carries that classic wide, aggressive stance, but it's been sharpened, refined, and re-engineered. Those iconic round headlights are still there, but now they glow with a modern LED signature, creating a perfect bridge between past and future. The grille sits deep and bold, giving the car a face that feels both intimidating and clean at the same time. But the real story begins when you notice the proportions. This car sits low, wider than you'd expect, with exaggerated rear haunches that instantly tell you where the power lies. The hood features functional air intakes, not just for style, but for performance, hinting at what's happening underneath without revealing everything at once. And then, as the camera moves toward the rear, you start to understand the philosophy behind this design. The taillights stretch horizontally with a modern LED pattern, but they echo the simplicity of classic muscle design. Right in the center, the Plymouth identity stands proud, not oversized, not flashy, just confident. Below that, the quad exhaust setup reinforces something important. This car hasn't gone soft. But here's where things take a turn. Step inside, and the Barracuda transforms completely. The cabin feels like a controlled fusion of performance and intelligence. It's not overloaded with screens, but everything that's there feels purposeful. A digital cluster sits right behind the steering wheel, crisp and customizable, while a central display integrates smoothly into the console without distracting from the driving experience. The materials are where you really feel the upgrade. Premium leather, detailed stitching, and subtle ambient lighting create an environment that feels modern, but still driver-focused. The seats are aggressive in shape, designed to hold you during hard driving, yet they remain comfortable enough for everyday use. And then you start noticing something different, the way the car interacts with you. This isn't just a machine anymore. There's an intelligent system built into the Barracuda that adapts to your behavior. It learns how you drive, how you accelerate, how you take corners, and then it adjusts throttle response, steering feel, and even suspension characteristics to match your style. It's subtle, but once you feel it, you can't ignore it. Now let's talk about performance, because this is where expectations get challenged. The new Barracuda doesn't rely on just one identity. There are strong indications of multiple configurations, including a powerful combustion setup for purists and an advanced hybrid system that delivers instant torque. The result is something that feels both raw and refined at the same time. Acceleration is immediate, but controlled. The power doesn't overwhelm you, it builds, pushes, and keeps pulling in a way that feels intentional. And when you push it harder, the chassis responds with confidence. The suspension adapts in real time, keeping the car stable without sacrificing comfort. But here's the surprising part, it's not exhausting to drive. Older muscle cars demanded effort. They were loud, aggressive, sometimes even unforgiving. This one still carries that spirit. But it's been refined into something you can actually live with every day. And that brings us to technology. The Barracuda is equipped with a full suite of advanced systems that work quietly in the background. Driver assistance features, real-time monitoring, and intelligent safety systems are all integrated in a way that doesn't interfere with the driving experience. It's like having a co-pilot that only steps in when needed. There's also seamless connectivity, allowing the car to sync with your digital life. Navigation, media, and personal settings all adapt instantly, creating a driving experience that feels personalized every time you get behind the wheel. Now think about this for a moment. Who is this car really for? It's not just for muscle car fans. It's for people who remember what driving used to feel like, but also want what modern technology can offer. It's for drivers who don't want to choose between emotion and intelligence. And that's what makes this car so important. Because the 2026-2027 Plymouth Barracuda doesn't just bring back a name, it redefines what that name stands for. It takes the raw energy of the past and reshapes it into something that fits the future without losing its identity. It doesn't try to be the loudest. It doesn't try to be the most extreme. It tries to be right. And in doing that, it creates something that feels genuinely new. So now the real question is, does this modern Barracuda live up to the legend? Or has it become something even more interesting? Drop your thoughts below, and if you want more deep, cinematic car reveals like this, stay connected with premium automotive reviews. Because the next evolution of driving isn't coming soon, it's already here. This is not the Impala you remember, and that's exactly why it might shock the entire industry. The 2026-2027 Chevrolet Impala SS has officially arrived, and instead of playing it safe, Chevrolet has completely rewritten what this name stands for. You're watching Premium Automotive Reviews, where we don't just look at cars, we decode them. And today's reveal is something different. Because the Impala SS isn't trying to live in the past, it's trying to dominate the future. Stay with me. Because there are details here that most people will miss at first glance, and they change everything. At first, it feels almost too clean. Too controlled. But then your eyes start catching the lines. The front end sits low and wide, with a grille that stretches confidently across the face, framed by ultra-slim LED headlights that look almost surgical in their precision. There's no unnecessary aggression here, just a quiet authority. And that's what makes it dangerous. The hood carries subtle sculpting, not exaggerated, but purposeful. It hints at performance without announcing it. As the camera moves across the side, the proportions reveal something even more interesting. This isn't just a sedan. It feels like a coupe stretched into practicality. The roofline flows smoothly into the rear, creating a silhouette that feels both elegant and fast, even when standing still. Then you reach the back, and this is where the personality shifts. The taillights cut sharply across the rear, forming a futuristic signature that instantly stands out. The SS badge sits confidently at the center, not oversized, but impossible to ignore. And below that, the quad exhaust setup reminds you that this car still carries a performance identity, even in a world moving toward electrification. But here's where things take a turn. Open the door, and the Impala SS reveals a completely different side of itself. The interior doesn't overwhelm you with complexity. Instead, it pulls you in with clarity. The dashboard is clean, layered, and intelligently designed, with a digital instrument cluster that feels crisp and intuitive. The central display is seamlessly integrated, not floating awkwardly, but positioned exactly where your attention naturally goes. And then there's the atmosphere. Soft touch materials, refined stitching, and ambient lighting create a space that feels calm, almost like a luxury lounge, but with a clear sense of purpose. The seats are supportive without being stiff, designed for both spirited driving and long-distance comfort. But the real transformation is happening behind the scenes. This Impala isn't just reacting to you, it's learning you. An advanced AI-driven system monitors your driving habits, your routes, even your preferences for climate and media. Over time, it adapts. The car begins to anticipate what you want before you even ask for it. It's subtle, but it creates a connection that older cars simply couldn't offer. And then comes the technology that truly defines this generation. The infotainment system is fast, responsive, and deeply connected. It integrates with your digital life seamlessly, allowing navigation, communication, and entertainment to feel effortless. The air updates keep the system evolving, meaning the car you buy today won't be the same car a year from now. It will improve. There's also a layer of intelligent assistance that works quietly in the background. Adaptive driving systems, lane guidance, and real-time monitoring create a sense of awareness around the car at all times. It's not intrusive, it's supportive, like an invisible co-driver that only steps in when necessary. Now let's talk about performance, because this is where expectations get challenged. The new Impala SS isn't built around one idea. It's built around flexibility. There are strong indications of a powerful turbocharged engine, possibly paired with hybrid assistance, delivering a balance between efficiency and performance. The acceleration feels immediate, but refined. It doesn't jerk forward, it glides into speed. And when you push it harder, something interesting happens. The chassis responds with confidence. The steering tightens, the suspension adjusts, and the car begins to feel smaller than it actually is. It's controlled, composed, and surprisingly engaging for something that also prioritizes comfort. Because that's the thing. This car isn't trying to be extreme, it's trying to be complete. On long drives, it settles into a smooth, quiet rhythm. Road noise fades, the cabin remains calm, and the entire experience feels effortless. In the city, it's easy to maneuver, easy to live with, and surprisingly practical for a car with this level of presence. And yes, practicality matters here. There's enough space for passengers to feel comfortable, enough storage for everyday life, and a layout that makes sense. This isn't a weekend toy. It's something you can actually rely on every single day. Safety has also taken a step forward, not in a loud way, but in a smart one. The car constantly scans its surroundings, ready to assist, ready to react. It's not about replacing the driver, it's about supporting them. Now take a step back and think about what this car represents. The old Impala SS was about power, presence, and attitude. It was bold, sometimes even aggressive. But it belonged to a different era. This new one, it's something else entirely. It still carries that presence, but it's refined. It still offers performance, but it's intelligent. It doesn't shout, it communicates. And that's what makes it relevant. Because today's drivers don't just want speed. They want connection, technology, comfort, and capability, all in one package. And that's exactly what the 2026-2027 Chevrolet Impala SS is trying to deliver. It's not chasing nostalgia. It's building a new identity. So now the question becomes, is this the evolution the Impala needed? Or has it changed too much for traditional fans? Drop your thoughts below. And if you want more deep, cinematic automotive content like this, stay connected with premium automotive reviews. Because cars are no longer just about driving, they're about experience, and that experience is changing faster than ever.